My name is Andrew Collins and I'm a telly addict. Well, since the last series of The Apprentice, an embarrassing industrial tribunal exposed the mundane truth behind its Oz-like facade when a previous winner took Lord Sugar to court, describing her prize job as a sham and that of a glorified PA. But she lost, criticised by the judge for being more interested in travelling in private jets. Probably time to put the show out of its misery, right?
I've got a consumer electronics business, a cake shop and a baking website.
Wow.
Successful independent lady over here.
Absolutely.
But still it clings to life. I hate this programme. I hate it in a way that only someone who used to love it can hate it. Capitalism has failed. We've been in recession for 5 years. Margaret Thatcher's dead. Nick's on countdown. And still, The Apprentice grinds on about its business.
As you can see, I've got a pile of CVs here. It's full of the usual BS. You know, I'll give 110%. I'm the greatest entrepreneur since sliced bread. Failure's not an option. I think outside the box, inside the bleeding box. All those usual cliches. I'm sick and tired of all that bloody rubbish, to be perfectly honest with you.
But are you, Lord Sugar? Are we? No, because even with the lowest audience figures for a launch show since it moved to BBC1 in 2007, that's still 6.1 million tuning in for more of the bloody same.
I had my hand up before I'd realised I'd volunteered. I love being in charge and telling people what to do and having them do it. It's my idea of heaven.
I'm feeling tense already. And not about whether it's this lunatic or one of the 15 others who gets fired at the end. I'm tense knowing that they exist.
I've got 14 years sales experience. I've got 14 years of a proven track record. I'm from Wales.
The Apprentice is an even sadder reflection of the times we live in now than it used to be during the boom years when Lord Sugar gave out jobs. Now he invests in a business plan which, as an outcome, makes a nonsense of the "you're fired" framework and the weekly tasks.
Toilet roll. I like that. No, I like it because it might be an easy sale. I think you're right. 10 jackets.
Is this a good product?
What's the cat litter?
Let's look at what we can sell. That'll sell, won't it? So, thoughts to yourself. Thoughts to yourself.
To be fair, although the format has long since become unmoored from reality, it's still the most skillfully and wittily edited of the whole constructed factual genre. You have to admire the narrative precision on this particular little vignette.
Taking a clue from the cat.
What would it be called? A Chinese tourist shop.
A destination dawns.
Chinatown. Just drop us at the gate to Chinatown.
Gate to Chinatown.
Girls, I'm feeling positive. Come on. Hey, this is good. Here's the entry on the right here.
Yes.
Nothing's open.
Everything in Chinatown looks closed.
Look at that supermarket, it's
Oh my
shut.
goodness. Is it a Chinese holiday?
None of the supermarkets are open. Yeah.
Hold on. It might not open till 10. It might not open till 10.
Girls,
Let's head to Soho. We'll come back.
Yeah.
Forget it, Jazz. It's Chinatown. She was fired, but it doesn't matter. They're essentially interchangeable, self-inflating jargon dolls. This is for your information only. I won't be watching.
Next time.
Your task is all about making money.
You see, that's where it all goes wrong, when your task is all about making money. Ask the British Banking Association.
I can't talk about the past partly because I wasn't involved, but also for a whole load of legal reasons.
This was Bankers on BBC Two. An equally sad reflection of the times we live in, but a decent, probing, approachable documentary, offering first-hand testimony from the businessmen in their suits and ties who swashbuckled our money up the wall. Here's Sir Philip Hampton, former chairman of the RBS Group, getting to the root of the problem as he sees it.
This is an industry that needs a lot of fixing, a lot of repairing in its relationship with its core customer base.
He's more worried about the damage done to public relations than he is about the damage done to the public and their relations. Here's another pinstriped pipsqueak.
We sit right at the heart of the economies where we do business. You can't have vibrant economies without a vibrant banking system.
Ah, so that's what the banking system was when it was fixing the LIBOR rates, gambling on foreclosure and playing Masters of the Universe. Vibrant. Although it was striking was how softly spoken these captains of industry all were. Quite different from, say...
I started my first company when I was 19 years old from a garage in the Welsh Valleys.
Like The Apprentice, Bankers was very smartly directed and edited. I particularly like the symbolism in the linking footage.
These rumours that LIBOR was being manipulated coincided with the beginning of the credit squeeze. In the post-crash chaos, the credit markets seized up. Banks stopped lending to each other. It'll take a long time to clean up the mess that LIBOR left behind. And then everything changed.
But this was the pièce de résistance. Ephemeral chalk drawing of the city, built up before our very eyes, road sweeper approaching. What, figuratively, could possibly go wrong? I won't spoil it for you. There are 2 more parts of Bankers which I shall watch with compound interest. Now, let us mark the ending of 3 excellent drama series. First, The Village on BBC1, Peter Moffat's ambitious, site-specific people's history, whose first chapter took us from 1914 to 1920, without leaving the fictional Derbyshire hamlet of much scrabbling around in the dirt. The final scene at the unveiling of the War Memorial managed to unite the whole cast, answer the question posed by the episode, and tie up the series arc, without resorting to melodrama. 6 hours with barely a smile, but other expressions of gratitude are available. Second, something completely different, but equally tough and desaturated. Boss on More 4. If you missed this grand modern Shakespearean treat from apocalypto screenwriter Farhad Safinia, it gave Kelsey Grammer the role of a lifetime in Crooked Mayor of Chicago, Tom Kane. You don't need any other context to appreciate the sheer beauty of this sequence, directed by Mario Van Peebles.
When the time comes, you will have to show me where you stand.
When?
Everything happens today.
Do not adjust your set. That was a TV show using the sunrise to illuminate a dramatic point. The Americans, who didn't watch Boss in sufficient numbers to push it beyond a second season, which I hope More 4 have purchased, dare to do this stuff. But our third ending is homegrown, a long-form period detective mystery, the kind we still do best.
What was the team name that you chose?
Endeavour.
Endeavour, the prequel to Morse, has been impeccable over its first series of 4, each written by Russell Lewis, but I particularly liked the 4th, Home. I know I joked about it being Our Mad Men, but set in 1965 it did a deft job of signposting the changes, as progress even arrived in tweedy old Oxford. We also saw Morse, played with increasing depth by Sean Evans, firing a gun, which was a hot trigger issue in the police in the 1960s. But what I really liked about this episode was the way it fed Morse aficionados with prescient morsels, flashing forward to the future. Such as this neat bit of business about our man visiting his dying father and suggesting that PC Strange acts up.
If needed, you must go.
Sergeant Jake's back and forth to court. I don't want to leave your man down in the middle of all this.
You let me worry about that.
Actually, sir, there is someone I suppose you could look to.
PC Strange, played by Sean Rigby, will of course leapfrog DC Morse and become Chief Superintendent Strange, played by the late James Grout. And this is how. He sits the sergeant's exam in Morse's stead while he looks after his dad, and obviously gives it 110%. Failure is not an option. Oh, and Morse gets shot, which also has implications for the future.
The leg will mend, but in middle age you may well find yourself saddled with a limp.
Because Morse will have a limp. Something new to end, although it's another prequel whose sticky end we already know. Hannibal, showing here on Sky Living. If you can call this living.
Took her lungs. I'm pretty sure she was alive when he cut him out.
Yes, Hannibal Lecter's back. Played as a younger doctor of psychiatry by Danish superstar Mads Mikkelsen, he may or may not already be a serial killer, but he's certainly capable of doing something awful. Hannibal is almost nasty enough to be a cable show, but it's actually network from NBC, which shows how far the mainstream is edging towards the edgy. It's certainly attracted some big names from the movies. You don't have to be Mads to work here. You can be Lawrence Fishburne, who plays FBI boss Jack Crawford, who hires Lecter.
Are these yours, Doctor?
Among the first. My boarding school in Paris when I was a boy.
The amount of detail's incredible.
Learned very early a scalpel cuts better points than a pencil sharpener.
Well, now I understand. understand why your drawings earned you an internship at Johns Hopkins.
But for me, the real star of the show is our very own Hugh Dancy, over there taking their jobs as Will Graham, FBI profiler, college lecturer, Spectrum occupier and or social misfit, who's partnered up with the killer to form TV's most unlikely cop double act since Holmes and Yo-Yo.
Whose profile is he working on?
I'm sorry, Will. Observing is what we do. I can't shut mine off any more than you can shut yours off.
Please, don't psychoanalyze me. You won't like me when I'm psychoanalyzed.
Will.
Now, if you'll excuse me, I have to go give a lecture.
He did just say, go and give a lecture, didn't he? Created by Brian Fuller and directed by, among others, Twilight's David Slade, Hannibal is instantly sly, assured, worked out, witty, and even, yes, human.
Winston, this is everybody. Everybody, this is Winston.